From standing prayer position, while your hands are still in prayer, raise your hands up to the sky for high prayer. Separate your hands, palms still facing each other. Arch back, seeking clarity and staying mindful of your breath. Being grateful that you are able to make time for yourself, for your practice. Upper body forward, bend at the waist, bending over to touch the mat or as far as you can go, having no judgment, relaxing the head, relaxing the shoulders, releasing all the tension, while in standing forward fold. Remember to breathe in and out. Now place your hands above the knee, your back stretched parallel to the floor, looking forward. Return to standing forward fold, hands on the mat. Then transition into downward dog. Feet go back, hands are forward, knees are slightly bent. Lift the hips towards the ceiling. Fingers are spread, facing forward. Palms are shoulder width apart. Lift up through the tailbone, keeping the spine straight and long. Let the head and neck hang freely from the shoulders and keep elbows in. Walk your hands a little bit towards your feet where your right hand can grab the right ankle. Return the right hand to the original position, and then the left hand grabs the left ankle. Then return the left hand to the original position. Now for twisted or revolved downward facing dog. The right hand reaches for the left ankle. Return the right hand to the original position, then the left hand grabs for the right ankle. Do not hold your breath. Now returning the left hand to the original position. Stay in a classic downward facing dog position for a moment, being mindful with your breath. Now raise your right leg for three-legged downward facing dog. Now bend the right knee. The left leg is still extended straight. Open up the right hip for hip opening downward facing dog. At your own pace, return to classic downward facing dog. Let's repeat on the left side. From classic downward facing dog, lift the left leg for three-legged downward dog, then bend the left leg at the knee. Now open up the left hip for a hip opening downward facing dog. Hold it for a moment here. Do not hold your breath. Then at your own pace, return to classic downward facing dog. From classic downward dog, transition into a plank. Hold the plank position for a few seconds, remembering to breathe. Now for hip dips, hip dip on the right side and then the left. 2 more sets, the left, the right, hip dip on the left, last one, hip dip on the right. Return to downward dog. Tailbone pushes up and back, spine is straight, head is between the arms, the elbows are in. Go into a plank by pressing into your toes, keeping your arms straight. Wrists are in line with your shoulders. Come down into chaturanga or four-limb staff pose. Transitioning to upward facing dog. Knees, hips off the mat and elbows are straight. Then return to upward dog by engaging your core, pulling your navel towards the spine to lift your hips. Tailbone staying up and back. Remember to not hold your breath. Come down on your elbows for dolphin pose. Now transition to child's pose. Knees are on the mat, hip distance apart. Big toes are touching and arms are stretched in front of you. Lengthen your tailbone, sit back on your heels. Curl your toes. Transition into downward dog. Push forward into a high plank. Bring the right knee to the right elbow. Repeat 2 more times, 2 and 3. Now left knee to left elbow, 1, 2, 3. Push back into downward dog. Then return to a high plank. Now twist 3 times, right knee to left elbow, 1, 2, 3. Switch sides, left knee to right elbow 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Push back into downward dog. Knees straight without locking them. Tailbone back and lifted. Shoulder blades towards your tailbone. Head between arms, then push forward for high plank. Do not hold your breath. Bringing the right foot over the left in a rainbow. 1, return to neutral, then repeat 2 more times. 2, and 3. Repeat with the left leg over right, then returning to neutral for 1, 2, and last one, 3. While still in high plank, arc out the right foot to the right side. 1, 2, 3. Repeat on the left side. 1, 2, 3. From high plank, come down on all fours, knees to the mat for tabletop. Both your hands in front with palms on the floor facing forward, raising yourself up and supporting yourself on the palms and the knees. Adjust to bring the palms under your shoulders, the knees in line under the hips, raising the right leg up backwards and left arm forwards, making both arm and leg parallel to the ground. Breathing normally, do not hold your breath. Release, return to tabletop, repeat on the other side. Raise the left leg up backwards and right arm forward, making both arm and leg parallel to the ground. Breathe, do not hold your breath, then release, return to tabletop. Curl your toes, push back for downward dog. Do not hold your breath. Head between upper arms, tailbone push back. From here, walk the feet to your hands. Come up slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, as hands come out on the sides like the sun, meeting in high prayer, then coming to the level of the heart, ending in standing prayer pose.